I believe that if you came in contact with this video, that you are aspiring or looking to start a public speaking journey, right? Or a public speaking life, or a public speaking career. And what I found is there are 3 steps in order to be able to do so and to live the life that you've ultimately desired to live. And the first one is to get your story. Like, what is your story? What is your keynote speech? What is the area in which you will speak in, talk in, and show up for? And the funny part of that is, like, I'm on the journey as well, truth be told. And what I had my dilemma with is that, and hearing other dynamic public speakers and other keynote speakers share their story, they oftentimes have like that down in the trenches story, or growing up in a single parent household, drug abuse, being kicked out, having to live out in the streets, being homeless and filing bankruptcy, and all these other like traumatic things. And I did not have any of those things that happened to me. And so immediately I said to myself, like, Ricky, you're disqualified from being a public speaker, or having a story, or having something to share that will be beneficial or useful for anybody that's listening. And that honestly held me back for probably about 2 to 3 years. And realizing that, like, bro, because of what you did not go through, you don't have anything to share. Like, that was the hiccup, the hindrance, the obstacle that I was facing. And I wonder, even at this moment, am I by myself in that space? Like, truth be told, I grew up 2-parent household. Parents love each other still to this day. Been married for 38 years now and counting, right? And I grew up in a well-to-do home. Like, I never wanted or lacked for anything. And yes, I had obstacles and challenges in life. However, like, that wasn't my story. And I said to myself, man, maybe the people that grew up like me don't need anybody to advocate for them, anybody to speak towards them, anybody to help them or lift them up out of whatever it is that they're dealing with or going through. However, I had to reflect on the fact that if I had somebody to share some insights or some clarity or a word of wisdom or a word of encouragement or a word of inspiration, like, I would want that. And I had to think, like, what would that story be? What would I want of somebody that had the lifestyle that I lived, that could help me in the space or the place that I was in life? And I had that aha moment, like, if I was in high school, if I was in middle school, what I would want for that person to share to me is, you matter. Like, at the end of the day, though you are living a life where you don't have pretty much any expectations on you, like, you can kind of like coast through life. At the end of the day, you too have a gift that you offer to this world. You too have something that you can bring to this world to make it a better place. You too have a mark that will never be erased if you operate in the fullness of who you are, what you bring to the table, and the reason why you were even given life, even why you still have life. Like, you have a story as well. And so from that space and from that place, I started to draw my story from. And another part, like, if I could be honest, I start even like going to ChatGPT, start asking other AI tools, like, what are some ways that I could help to bridge my story, bring my story together into something that it could be heard, it would be shared, it would be received, and there would be benefits from those that hear what I have to say. And I started to get different ideas and things from that, but it never really like sat with me. I never felt comfortable about what it was saying and about the approach that it was recommending me to take. So after prayer, after assessing what I would have wanted if I was that up and coming teen or that high schooler, I realized that, okay, there was a desire of hearing inspiration and hearing motivation, and it would have been useful for the other people in the room as well. Because even in that lifestyle, even of growing up in that space, oftentimes we can find ourselves like just attaching to different groups and different cliques and different gangs in some cases, because we're looking to express ourselves. We're looking to act like we're somebody that we're not. Whereas no, like, who you are in the situation that you've been put in is to your benefit. So maximize it, use it, network, strategize what your future could look like, even as you are growing up in your present. And so, boom, capture that, have my story. I know my reach. I know the people. I know the settings that I would flourish in. And I know settings that I could also speak to as well, because life experiences, understandings, readings, and the list goes on allows for that spectrum of influence to be able to grow. And so as you are developing your story, I'm sharing this not just to talk about me, but to also encourage you even throughout this video. As you are building your story, know that there is a space for you. There is a person for your story. There are people that are looking for, waiting for, and attentive to what you have to share. And so if you could think back to that group or look ahead to those groups of people that you want to speak in front of and ask yourself, what problem are they facing? What dilemma are they trying to overcome? What challenges are they going through mentally, physically? What setbacks or holdbacks are they experiencing? And how have you been able to overcome? What did you do to strategize or plan an execution to be able to achieve what you now have been able to do? And so I can see myself then, look at myself now, and realize I've done a lot of different things in between. But the core of it all had to do with me speaking to myself and realizing who I was, what I brought to the table. Yes, I know my last name is, my case, Jones, whatever your last name is, right? That's what your family did. However, what is your part to do into carrying your family's name? Not always will, because of your family name, will it be that you follow in the cycle of what your family has already done? And I can say, like, that's often a thing and a struggle that kids that grew up like me have faced. Like, maybe they don't want to do what parents did, or maybe they don't want to do what people expect for you to do because of your upbringing and the structure that you had in your life. Well, it's fine. Determine what you're doing. Determine what you have to offer. But I'm not going to share the whole spiel. I'm not going to give the whole story, but just giving more backstory to how you get to your story, even if it's not as traumatic as what you hear others have, and therefore expect your story to have to be to make the impact or the reach that you're trying to have. Your story matters. And so step number 2 spins off of that, which is having and finding a mentor or mentors that you can learn from, that you can grow from, that you can experience their walk through. Because at the end of the day, if we want to get somewhere that we haven't been, it's to our best interest, truth be told, is to look at other people who have done it, who are walking in it, and see what they've done, see what obstacles that they had to overcome, see what they would suggest, and see what they would say to help you to get to where you want to be. And so I'll put links down below to the 3 most influential people that I would say at this present time that I've been watching, that I've been shadowing, that I would call my mentor, even though I can't call them, you know what I'm saying, on the phone or direct. I probably could direct email, you know, I probably could find it. But at the end of the day, these are the people that I've been watching, I've been learning from, I've been getting tips and tricks from as well. And even as my walk journey goes and grows, I definitely look forward to not only just seeing them from afar through YouTube videos or literature or books or websites, but actually being able to be in that circle, being able to be amongst the other, you know, groups. And some have masterminds, some have Facebook groups, and the list goes on. But being able to have that mentor, I believe, goes a long way. And I've learned so much from YouTube, which shouts out to YouTube. This is how we were able to get into contact with each other. However, there is so much that can be learned, but I believe that as time goes on, it will be more valuable and advantageous for us to make that direct connect, and which I do plan on doing. So, you know, it's always that fine line of like, when should I do it? Like, is it ever too soon to do it, or should I just go out and do it and then let the rest happen? Like, that's that space where I can honestly say I'm in right now, and ultimately we'll see what the outcome becomes. However, get you a mentor. And even, of course, the Tony Robbins, amazing, you know what I'm saying, thought leader, amazing speaker, amazing keynote speaker. The list goes on. His history speaks for itself. I've read several of his books. I've watched several of his documentaries. I've watched tons and hundreds of his videos. That goes without saying. I love Jim Rohn as well. He was just sure by himself. He knew what he was going to say, and he said it the way he was gifted to speak. And I love everything about who he is. So though they aren't listed below, those are people that I watch, learn from, and grow from as well. But then not only do we want to make sure we have our story, not only do we want to make sure we know the impact of who we want to impact and how we are able to do so by solving their problems, not only do we have our mentors, the people that we look at, the people that we learn from, the people that we grow from, but at the end of the day, we have to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to do. And you may be like, I don't have any speaking opportunities. I don't have any platforms to step on. I don't have anybody that's willing to listen to me. Well, you do have a camera. Like I have a camera. Like I'm speaking in front of the camera right now. Like you're watching this video right now. If you speak in front of the camera, use your social media platforms, and maybe Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, whatever else is out there, right? I try to use all of them to maximize my growth opportunities, my learning opportunities, and being able to speak and to be able to share with clarity, with insights, but then as well being able to talk through what it's like along the journey, because I believe in the power of relationships. And with that being said, as we continue to share, as we continue to talk, as I continue to pour out where I am and what I look forward to do in the future, I believe that relationship building opportunity will come. Those friends will come. The community will be able to grow. And then other speakers will be able to do phenomenal things. And I love the idea of building relationships, building a community, because there are things that you know that I don't know, insights that you have that I don't have, and vice versa. But when we come together, whether it's in the comment section right now, whether it grows to somewhere else later, ultimately we have a circle of influence of people that are doing things on the same path together. As the saying goes, as we all know, birds of a feather flock together. Inevitably saying that those who are similar to each other go in the same path. And then on the flip side, I heard it say, like, if you want to know where you're going in life, take an inventory of your closest 5 friends, and that'll let you know with a quickness of where your trajectory will be. However, if we associate ourselves with other people that want to speak, other people that want to communicate, other people that want to use their story, their voice, their experience to have impact, why not here? Why not start? Why not the community? Why not relationships? And let's build them and let's grow them. And it could be internationally, it could be nationally, it could be locally, it could be within your community, your church group, right? Your family. It could be as nuclear or small as that. However, start to form those relationships by doing. Start doing. And when you do, if you do, based off of this video, comment, post, share, drop the link so that we can as well, for those that come in contact with this video, see what you're doing. Encourage you along your way. I can do so. I can comment. I can like. I can give suggestions if you want me to. You can give me suggestions in any of the videos that you come in contact with. All of them are stepping stones, to the ultimate goal. And I'll even start to like doing videos where I don't edit. Because at the end of the day, when you're on stage, there's no opportunity to edit yourself. There's no opportunity to cut, to splice, and to bring things together. No, all of it is before the people. So why not live the life now? Why not start now? Why not practice now what will inevitably be what you desire to be, which is being on stage, being live, being in front of people, being in front of cameras, right? That could be your thing. You may be wanting to be an online speaker, an online keynote speaker. You're addressing companies, you're addressing schools, you're addressing teachers, you're addressing you name it, all online. That could be your thing, but you may not feel comfortable talking in front of camera right now. So start doing it. Start watching. Start seeing yourself. But inevitably and ultimately, what I desire for us all to do and to be is all that is within us to do. So if you're like me and you're like, hey, I want to start speaking, I want to be in front of audiences, I want to be in front of crowds, I want to be in front of 3 people, 2 people, 1 person, you name it, start speaking, start doing. You heard the 3 steps. I'm doing it before you, but ultimately I would love to do it with you. And so all you have to do is just comment, drop your social medias, and we'll challenge each other, we'll encourage each other, we'll better one another along the ultimate goal of where we desire to be. And so, great people, that's all I have to say and share today. I have given my spiel, my speech, my talking point for the week, because that's my desire, to at least do 1 or 2 speeches or 1 or 2 talks or 1 or 2 messages a week. as I'm growing that muscle, as I'm building, and I do it different ways, right? Some I prepare for, some are spontaneous, some I give myself a day, some I give myself a week to prepare for, because hey, the opportunities may come in various ways and formats. But at the end of the day, if I want to be able to answer the call and say yes, I have to be able to be open, vulnerable, the solution, being able to be adaptive to whatever the opportunity provides. So with that being said, with all that being shared, all that to say, I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I'll see you on the next one. That's my time. Peace.